Hey y'all, it's Tim here, and I'm back again with another tier list. This time I'm gonna be doing Cuphead. I thought I'd switch things up a bit by going from the no thanks to the one. Just note that this is all my opinion, and y'all are free to disagree, but with that said, let's go. For no thanks, we have Pac-Man from, Pac-Man. They really don't have any connections at all. And Pac-Man really has no abilities that I guess just doesn't work well. And yeah, that's about it. We have Super Mario from the Mario franchise. They are really brothers at best, with no interesting power-ups going against one another, as it'll mainly be Mario dodging it and not really reflecting it or absorbing it or any other stuff like that, which is really boring. We have Spinel from Steven Universe, cartoony characters at best with no animation potential whatsoever. And I guess I'll just group Imposter Steve and Felix all in one, because I really don't have anything to say about them. The connections are either just video game characters or cartoony characters once again. They all have zero interesting potential, and I think just don't work. And with Mega Man, probably the least bad out of all of them, but still not good. Mainly because I guess their powers could go well. I could imagine at one point Mega Man's Mega Buster could go up against Cuphead's Charge Shot, but that's really as far as interesting as I see it. But yeah, that's it with the no thanks. We are now at and I may as well group all of the Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight, Sans, and these two from the Cuphead ripoff. Basically, all of the connections are just indie characters, or hey, these two are a ripoff of Cuphead, with once again no really interesting potential, as either these two use some sort of melee weapon like a shield, or they dodge a lot in Sans case, or they just have no, or they just don't interest me like these two. And then we have Mickey Mouse, once again just cartoon characters, though I don't hate it as much as Felix because, I don't know, it just vibes a tiny bit better. But that's it. And fine, we have Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. It really only was saved by the legacy it has. Otherwise, these two have nothing in common, as Cuphead is usually a troublemaker, and Bendy is an ink demon that likes to kill. Can you see why these two just don't work off each other? And then we have the Kool-Aid Man, which is just better than everybody but still is not very interesting to me. Cuphead really doesn't have a lot of interesting opponents for me. A lot of them are pretty bad. In good alternatives, we have Diamond Eye Head from, his franchise. I know pretty much next to nothing about him, but I guess it could be pretty neat, but that's really about it. We have Peacock from Skullgirls with some actual connections this time. Thank God. The connections between these two are mainly just characters from cartoony characters from indie games. And I guess this just vibes way better than Spinel, mainly because these two could have some quirky banter, with Cuphead being over his head throughout the entire fight. And that's really about it again. I really don't have a lot to say on these matchups because most of them have nothing in common. So that's why I'm speeding through all of them, so I could get to the one with actual connections to the plot of Cuphead. With Smith, I don't remember the connections, but what I do know is that this could be pretty neat, and that's really about it. We have, and for the one, we have Jonesy from Cat Kid from Manhattan Time. This is the only one with actual connections to the actual plot of Cuphead, and that's quite shocking to me, to be honest. The connections between these two are that they are both characters who basically, I guess, have to collect things from these entities. I'm not sure Hackett has, pretty sure she does. But they end up collecting the stuff that they need and end up defeating those entities at the end. Um, yeah, it seems like a pretty good matchup. These two could have some pretty quirky banter. Yeah, that's really about it. But yeah, I guess just let me know if y'all disagree with this, or if I missed any particular bonus for Cuphead. And for next time, well, let's go!